everyone, to another episode of the Lady Trucking CEO podcast. Today, I have another wonderful guest here with us, Miss Kiya Page. Welcome to the show. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem at all. It's our pleasure. Can you just introduce yourself to everyone? Tell us what you do, what your name is, and what you do.
Yes, hello everyone. I am Kiya Page. I am the founder of Page Testing Solutions. I am also a author of Surviving the Sentence. So at Page Testing Solutions, we basically do drug testing, we do gender reveal, we do fingerprints, we do DOT physicals. So we do any kind of like testing needs that you may need to get a job or stay in compliance with trucking.
Okay, and that's huge in the industry. That's definitely a step that no driver can actually get on the road without. So you're
Right.
definitely an essential worker where that's concerned.
Yes.
So how long have you been do this? You've been running page testing solutions. How long have you been in business?
So October the 1st made a year.
Oh,
Thank
congratulations.
you.
That is amazing. And all right, so let's go back a little bit into your backstory. Tell us about let's go back to about teenage years. What was Kiya like in high school?
Woo. In high school, I guess I would say like your average teenager, partying,
Hmm.
running the streets, just doing things that a
Okay.
normal teenager would do. I did run track in high school, so
Mm,
I did do that. But other than that, yeah, I worked. I was a teenage mom, so I had my first child at 16. I'm a
okay.
mother of four. So yeah, other than that, just the normal teenage things.
Mm. So do you think, were you always into the medical field, or like had an interest in the medical field when you were younger? Did you see yourself doing something in the medical field like you are now?
So actually, yes and no. So I had my first child at 16, then I had a set of twins at
Hmm.
19.
Hmm.
My twins were premature, and I have a boy twin and a girl twin. So the boy, he had more complications than my daughter did.
Hmm.
So, with going through everything I went through with him, with back and forth to the doctors, and just the struggle with him, bringing him up, I kind of knew that I wanted to get into the medical field somewhere because I kind of knew a lot about it just from
Mm.
the things I went through with him as a young mom. So at 19, I did get my CNA license, and I was in the medical field for a long time, probably until about maybe 2010. I was in the medical field like strong.
Okay.
And when I left North Carolina and came to Atlanta, I worked in a nursing home maybe for, I would say maybe about 3 months, and I left there and I went and got a job at Amazon. So I was a supervisor at Amazon before I
Wow.
started this.
Mm.
Actually, before this, I also had a shoe boutique.
Okay.
So I had my hands in a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So how were you able to manage having children so young, and then also with the work that you wanted to do and like getting into the field that you wanted to get into? Like, what are some of the things that you had to wake up every day and really tell yourself to like do it?
It was hard. Trust me, it's hard. Being a young mom and having children
Hmm.
and still trying to work and provide for the family. It really was hard, but I just had to stay focused. And every day that I got up, I just always told myself, like, this is a must. This is something you have to do. It's not an option. Like, you just got to stay focused no matter how hard it got. I just know I had to stay focused because if I didn't take care of my children, who else would?
Mm, mm. What would you say that point was where you realized that you wanted to where you wanted to like take it to the next level as far as becoming an entrepreneur and starting your own thing? Because you said how many years were you in the medical field?
From 2000. No. Back up from 99 to 2010.
Okay. So at
Mhm.
what point did you realize, you know what, I think I need to become an entrepreneur and do my own thing? Because this,
I think raising my son,
hmm
with his complications, it just burnt me out, really, to be honest.
Okay.
Like, it was like I was doing it all day. I'm home doing it. I'm going to work, I'm doing it. I'm coming back home from work doing it. So it
Mm,
kind of burnt me out, really, to be honest.
mm.
So at that point, I knew then, like, I have to do something else. Like, this can't be life. I had to do something else. So that's when I, just reached out and started researching and doing other things.
Okay. And so you got it. And so you started page testing solution, but there's a little gap though. So, but you decided to start doing your own thing in 2010?
No, so I opened the shoe boutique actually in 2016.
Okay.
So
Okay.
from 2010, like I said, I did the nursing home thing for a little while
Mm-hmm.
when I came here to Atlanta. After that, then I went into a shoe boutique. I opened a shoe boutique, and I did that for maybe about a year. Somebody broke into it, and I closed it down, then
Oh
opened it
no.
back up.
Okay.
Um, After that, I did clothes. I tried to do clothes, and then another situation happened that stopped me from doing that. So
Mm,
then I'm here now with page testing. I feel like page testing. I always tell people it's my COVID baby because I
wow.
birthed it during COVID, and it was kind of like a bounce back for me.
Okay. What do you mean? Tell me more.
So like I said, I'm an author and I wrote a book, Surviving the Sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So during the time that I was going through the whole thing with me writing a book and
Mm-hmm.
up the situation that led up to me writing a book, like I was completely shut down. So I wasn't doing anything. Like, I was
Okay.
in depression and I wasn't doing anything. So once I got the book up and running, then I birthed page testing. So it's kind of like a bounce back for me.
Okay. So let's go back a little bit because you said that you went through, you had some adversity in
Mhm.
your life. And in spite of the adversities that you have gone through, you were still able to birth something in the middle of a pandemic that is really serving a lot of people and is serving the industry in a really awesome way. So, could you get into what led up to you writing your book? You have a book called Surviving the Sentence.
Yeah.
Can you share with us a little bit about what you were going through that actually led up to the birthing of Page Testing Solution?
Yeah, so Surviving the Sentence is a book that I wrote. Well, I have a few chapters in it. My daughter has a chapter in it, and her father
Hmm.
has a chapter in it. So my daughter was sentenced to 30 years in prison.
Hmm.
So that's where Surviving the Sentence, that's where the book came from. That was kind of like, I would say, my healing journey, from
Mm,
everything that I was going through with her. It was a long process, with her going back and forth to court, back and forth to court. It took some years. So during that time, I started writing because that was the only thing that was kind of clear my mind.
mm,
Um, so during the time where I was writing the book, I was saying to myself, like, and I have to do something else to get back up and running. Like, I wasn't making no money. I was just home depressed.
mm.
So I said, I'm going to open up a drug testing center. First, it was, I did get into trucking a little bit. I didn't have my own truck yet,
Mhm.
but I said I'm gonna do something to work up to get in my own truck. So that's
Yes.
how Page Testing Solutions came about.
Mm, okay. And so with writing and then releasing the book and everything, that's what made you decide to go ahead and start Page Testing Solution?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say during that period of time when you were back and forth with your daughter and everything else that was happening? Um, I know that you said that you really used writing and like journaling to really get your feelings and everything out. What kind of, did you have any support system or like were people encouraging you along the way? Or like, did you have like a group of people around you that to kind of help you through that situation?
Well, of course, my family.
Mm-hmm.
it was at that point I really didn't have too many people around me because I just didn't want to be bothered,
Mm,
to be honest. So it was more so family, like my
okay.
kids and my grandmother, my mother, my brother.
Yes.
So it
Yeah.
was just really family
Mm,
that I was more connected to at that time.
okay. And as a mother, though, like, girl, I don't know. That must have been really something else, right? Because I know I have two children of my own, and I know like all the hopes and dreams and everything that we have for our children. And so just being like walk us through like that moment when you realized, oh my God, like, how this is my child, oh my God, like how did you get through that?
It was hard.
Mm,
Like it was really, really hard. I guess just prayer, God's grace, and just me being I don't know, just being a believer in God. And it's just something I had to do. Like
mm,
I always knew that I can't stop and just give up. I knew
right.
that.
That's not.
um because it's my child, regardless to the situation or what happened at hand. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're here now, so this
Exactly.
is something we have to handle. This is something we have to deal with. So
Mm-hmm.
that's just what I kept playing in my mind, that we're here. This is what we got to do. I knew I couldn't walk away. I couldn't give up. I just couldn't leave her because of the
Mm,
choices that happened and what she made. But it was hard.
mm.
It
Wow.
definitely was hard.
Well, I realized one thing that I've definitely learned in life is that a lot of the things that we go through is for like you actually came out on the other side. There's some people
Yeah,
that go through less and they don't even live to tell the tale because they just can't handle it.
right.
So it's really a testament and a testimony to hear that you birthed a book out of it, you birthed a business out of it, and it's just like from one level to the next.
Yes.
So in your business, what would you say what your biggest success have been so far in being in business?
My biggest success, really, to be honest, I would say the people I've met.
Mm,
The people I've met, that I just surround myself with, and the knowledge, I mean, that's just what it is, really, to be honest. A lot of people may think that's weird, but that's just what it is. Like I learn more and more. Like you have to learn, you have to be teachable to
hmm.
be able to be successful in your business. So
Absolutely.
I would just say the people I've been around, the people I've met along the way, like that's what I feel like my success is.
Mm, that's so true. Definitely like the plugging into the right network of people
Yeah,
that give you the information without any reservation, without feeling like you're bothering them or. So it's so true. Like being in this industry, I've met so many people
yeah,
that are just willing to share the information that sometimes if you're not plugged into a particular different people, it's hard to know who to trust and what to actually do. So
right,
I feel you on
right.
that
And,
one.
and you're right. A lot of people don't want to give you information. Like people just they just don't want to give you information. But we get through it.
Hmm.
We get
Hmm.
through it. So
Well,
I try to make sure I surround myself with the right people.
and so you interface with a lot of different types of people. And when it comes to truck drivers, is there a particular misconception that you think people may have concerning the drug testing and the drivers?
Um, okay, ask that question again.
So, as far as when the drivers come in, what would you say is like a big misunderstanding or misconception that people may have like around the need for the drug testing or the biggest issue that you see come up out of it?
So their question always is what type of test is it? What type of
Mm,
test it is, whether it's hair or urine. That's always their first question.
okay.
Um, so I always advise them, like most of the time it's urine. Some people do hair collections, but a lot of the donors that come in don't like hair collections because they don't want their hair cut or for whatever reason, that they don't want to do it. So that's always their first question. And then I always get, um, well, where's my results, or how was my test? And I always have to let people know, like, well, I don't test the urine. I'm just the collector. Like it goes off to
Mm.
a lab for the urine to get tested. I don't test the urine. So that's always their question when they come in.
Oh, that I didn't realize that. Like, I think I thought that too. Um,
Mm,
that that you
that
guys
we
do the
tested.
testing. Mm-hmm.
No. So the only
Oh.
test that we do is that we can read like right here in front of a donor would be an instant test.
Mm,
But a lab-based test like a truck driver, they can't do instant tests. They have to do DOT tests
mm,
because of their CDLs.
right.
So their test has to go off to a lab. Like we don't read their tests.
Okay, can you tell us the difference between the depth of a hair test versus a urine test? Why you think the perception is that a urine test is um, better, or like why they would prefer a urine test to like a hair
So
test?
yeah, so they prefer a urine test because a urine test does not go as far back as a hair test. A hair collection, we cut their hair and send it to the lab so they could run that back like months and months back
Mm.
um, to see drugs in your system. With a urine, it doesn't go as far back as a hair collection does.
Oh, so okay, so they'll be able to tell from a strand of hair. Let me just get this straight. So they can tell from a strand of your hair from months back what kind of, like, if you're on medication, or if they can tell that by by strands of your hair.
By strands of your hair, not one strand, but strands. Yeah,
Wow. Okay. So
it
about
goes.
how many months back can
I would say at least 6.
mm, wow. I
Mhm.
I don't think I knew that. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so what has been the biggest challenge for you so far?
Um, I would say marketing.
Mm.
I would say marketing was my biggest challenge. I mean, now I got it down packed. I'm on top of it now. But starting up, I would
Hmm.
I would definitely say marketing.
So what is different now with your marketing as it was from when you first started? Like, what are some things
At
that you?
first, when I first started, I was just kind of confused on how to go out and market. I wasn't really like a talker like that. So, I was kind of shy to go out and start, meet people and talk or
Mm-hmm.
market myself or my business. So where to now, I just, it's nothing now. So I just go out and like, hey, I'm Kiya, I'm the owner of Page Test, blah, blah, it's
Yes.
nothing now. I guess since I've been doing it for some months now, it's
Mm-hmm.
it's just easy to me now. But when I first started, I was like, I don't want to go over here and
I don't want to talk to nobody. That's so true. Listen, there's this fear that I think a lot of beginning entrepreneurs have, and even now sometimes, like, of just opening your mouth and talking to somebody, you feel like you're gonna be like, "Girl, don't talk to me, get out of here." But like,
right,
but people
right.
are.
But you know what? Some people do that still. Like I've had. Don't think it's always been easy now when we go in their place. I've had people turn me around like, oh, they don't want to talk or
Mm.
like, I'm not interested. So it's not easy. People will still turn you down.
It's just that fear, that initial fear of
Right,
getting, like, okay, so they turn me down. It's just a no. It's
right,
it's like not a
right.
big deal.
You know
Not
what my thing is? To 10 no's, you gonna get a one yes somewhere. So
That's
that's just how
true.
I think about it now when I'm talking. I'm like, okay, they said no. Okay, that person might have said no. Okay, but before I leave here today,
Somebody
somebody said
somebody gonna say yes. And that's a good way to look at it, because
yes.
sometimes we get hung up on the like, five
Oh
no's
no.
straight. Oh my gosh, like, let me go home. But
Yes.
that persistence and really that hustle inside that you got to like, you know what, I have to keep going because
Yes.
it's just a no. It's not like they're going, you
End
know.
of the world.
Exactly. So,
And
so
I'm
true.
very persistent. So I'm like, somebody gonna say yeah.
Mm, that's a great mindset to have because um, that's the only way that business can actually go forward. Like there's so many different things that come up, I feel like, in life. When you think you're going in the right direction, or when you know you're going in the right direction, things always want to pop up and, you know, try to push you off course.
All the time.
And so when things like that happen now, how do you handle those things?
I just always remind myself, like, like I just every day I think I tell myself to stay focused. I always have to remind myself, like, it's a bigger picture. I have
Mm,
I have kids. I have to show them what I'm doing so they can know. Coming up, like my children are older now, so they're definitely watching. Like my youngest is 18, so
mhm.
they're definitely watching what I'm doing. They're watching my steps. So
Yes.
I just have to tell myself, stay focused. Like that's just what you have to do.
There's no giving up. There's like no other option. It's like either we do it or we do it, you
Yeah.
know? That's so
Yeah.
true.
And I always tell them too, I'm kind of glad that, the shoe boutique happened the way it happened and the clothing happened the way it happened because I'm like, I always felt like three strikes and you out. And this is my third go round. So I'm like, this gotta work. Oh, this is
Mm. And then your background in the health field, it's like it came full circle.
right.
So
Right.
a
I'm
lot of
just
this.
not as hands-on now as I was then, because I was a
Mm,
CNA then. So I was like really, really hands-on, where now I'm just, kind of getting urine or, doing a physical or, a
mhm.
hair collection, something like that, DNA test. So I'm not as hands-on as I was with the CNA.
Mhm. What was the process like in actually getting the page testing solutions started as far as like if you could give me like three steps that you had to do, and if someone is listening and they're like interested in that sounds like something I might want to do, what would you say are three like major steps that you took in order to get to where you are right now?
So I would say the first step is to get certified as a drug test collector. Like you
Mm,
have to do that in order to move on with this type of business. The next thing I would say is finding your location. Like your location is so important in this business because we use different softwares,
mhm,
and if an area is oversaturated with the software, they
mhm,
won't give you the software. So
mm.
location is very, very important. And then just getting set up with the right labs. So I would say those were my biggest three steps.
Okay. So your company works with several other labs. It's not just like
Right.
one lab that you work with.
Right.
Oh, okay. So partnerships, building up those partnerships
Yes.
sounds like it's super important.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
okay. And then as far as the mindset behind, okay, I have to build these partnerships. How do I do you from the you said you had to get certified, right? From the certification program, do they give you any like a list of people to call or like a list of labs or those like organic relationships that you had to build that your company had
No.
to establish?
No. So when I did my certification, got my certifications, a few labs were given to me, but
Mhm.
not all of the ones that I'm connected to now. So it was
Mm,
just kind of like me getting together with other people, collabing and just speaking, talking, going to networking events, networking, doing different things to how I found other labs that I
mm.
can partner with.
Okay. So definitely that we get right back to that networking and talking to
Mhm.
people and building that relationship.
Yes,
I find that in business in general, when it comes to entrepreneurship, definitely building those relationships is so important, like
it
and
is.
on every level, you know? Wow, there's just no substitute for it.
It's
An
not
email
you
just won't
definitely
do.
No, you definitely have to stay connected. You definitely have to get in the right places, get in front of the right people, because that's the only way. That's the only way,
Mm,
that you're really gonna make it. I hear so many people laugh and say things like, on Instagram, 'cause social media is the thing. So I hear so many people say, how do people have a business and their page is private? I don't know. I don't know how people do it. Like, how
mm,
is your page private? Like, how do you network?
mm,
How are you visible if your
right.
page is private?
It's
So you definitely have to, you have to be out there. You have to post. You have to network. You have to get in these communities. You have to go to events. Like you have to.
It's so true. It's so true. Or else literally people will need your service and not
Mhm.
even know that you exist. And they over there struggling with their problem. And because for whatever reason, I mean, there are a lot of different reasons why people don't put themselves out there. I think women in particular, as a Black woman, there are so many obstacles that present themselves, but at the same time, there are also opportunities. And so it's about having that perspective or that lens to say, all right, let's look at the opportunity in this situation. What this might seem to be a roadblock, but maybe I could use it as a stepping stone instead of a stumbling block, you know?
Right. Right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. So where do you see your business in like the next 5 to 10 years? Like what's the vision?
So my vision is to actually get a bigger location and to get another location. I actually want to open two more locations
Okay.
in different states,
Mm-hmm.
not in Georgia, and two different other states. But that's my vision for the next 5 or 10 years, and to have me a future.
Oh, oh, to have a few trucks as well. Yes, 100%.
Yes,
That's
that's definitely my
awesome.
vision.
I could definitely see Page Testing Solutions franchised or, like multiple locations. That would be
Yeah.
amazing because
Mhm.
with the millions of truck drivers that are out there, there's definitely a need in the industry for it. Is
Yeah.
this something that someone would be able to do from home, or is it something that you need to go into an office to do?
You could definitely, it's definitely something that could be done from home because you can be like a mobile collector.
Oh,
So it's possible if you don't have a brick and mortar, you can still, do drug testing. You'll just be a mobile collector. I don't know if um how connected with the labs or what labs, that you can go through being a mobile collector. Because like I
hmm,
said, we have certain software that you do need to have a brick and mortar to have that
mm,
software.
okay,
But I know a couple people that are
okay,
mobile drug
okay.
testing
That's
collectors.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And so when it comes to finding like new clients and things like that, what would you say has been like a major asset for you, or like has been like a game changer?
Definitely word of mouth,
Okay.
word of mouth, and seeing my face. Because I go, like I go, I get in my car and I go. I go to different warehouses and uh different stores or different
Mm,
hotels or chamber of commerce. Like I go. They see my
okay.
face.
Oh, so they can put a name, they could put that face with the name that they might see on paper. Yeah,
Yeah,
so definitely getting out there, pounding the pavement and really getting in people's face about making sure that your business is front and center.
yes. Yeah.
Ugh, what would you say has been what's your biggest win as far as you've been running your business and like how there's like learning curves sometimes, like I know for me, being in this industry has been a huge learning curve. I'm coming from a completely different industry. So what would you say that biggest learning curve have been for you?
I think contracts and bids.
Mm, tell us more.
That will be my business. I never knew like about the contracts and how to even do contracts or go after contracts, even with the bidding. Like that's a whole nother world.
Wow.
It's a whole nother world with the bidding. Like, when I'm going through, or me and my staff is going through, and we're looking at, okay, this is up. let's try to bid for this, or
Mm-hmm.
this contract is available. Let's try to go in and do this contract. Like, I just be amazed because I never knew. I
So you
never knew. Like, I just feel like we don't read enough. That's what I tell my
mm,
I said we don't read enough. That's why we don't know about these things, because we don't sit down and we don't read.
oh,
So,
I see.
we're in tune now. So, we're all like every week we're looking at, different contracts that we may can go for, different bids that we can go for. So
Mm,
that's definitely my biggest.
wow.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you're talking about government contracts.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
the government contracting is a huge, huge market. Like, because government contracts, the government is like the number one consumer, and one would never think that. Oh, they buy everything, like including drug testing. That makes a
Yeah.
lot of sense. Mm,
Yes. And also, I would say certifications like minority certification,
mm,
women owned certifications. Like, I was in business, I had page testing almost what, like 7 months before I even knew anything about that.
I see.
So I just
Wow.
recently, within the last couple of months, found out about, your minority certification, your women owned certification. So, that's a big step too.
Yeah,
So
that's so important.
I'm working on those, getting those certifications as well.
Okay, I just spoke with someone recent, Dr. Cassandra Bradford. Have you heard of her?
Yes.
Yes, that's her thing.
That's
She
her
does
thing.
it.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm working with her. I'm working with
Oh,
Dr.
okay.
Cassandra.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yes,
Yeah, so definitely tapping into all of the resources that are out there for small businesses, and and within that niche that you're in is so expansive, and like there's so much opportunity for anyone who would want to get in.
yes.
So if there's a woman that's listening now who might find herself in, so actually, I'm going to change the question. If you could say something to Kaya 10 years ago, what kind of advice would you give her now, knowing what you know now and everything that Kaya has been through? What would you say to her now?
And I would definitely say, read, read
Mm-hmm.
more. I would definitely say save your money
Mm-hmm.
and get around the right people. Get
Mm,
around what you want to attract. Whatever it is that you want to go for and attract, that's what you need to be around.
that's
That's what I would tell my younger self.
wow. Kaya, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's just amazing. Can you tell us how, if anyone wants to get in touch with you to find out how they could work with you, where to find you, share your information with us?
My email is Kiya at pagetestsolutions.com. My Instagram is pagetestingsolutions.com. Also, my Facebook and LinkedIn is pagetestingsolutions.com.
All right.
If anybody wants to get my book, Surviving the Sentence, it is on all platforms. It's on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million. You can also reach out to me. I have a link I could send you to purchase the book as well.
Okay, awesome. And I'm going to give you the last word, just a word of encouragement or a word of inspiration that you'll want to leave with us today.
Stay focused. Stay focused. Make your dreams come true. Don't let nobody stop you. Keep
Hmm.
pushing.
Kaya, thank you so much. This has been awesome. I really love talking to you, and your story is just amazing, and I'm just grateful for you taking the time to talk to us today.
You, I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem at all. You take care.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.